You've been listening to Tiger Talk with Robin Pinchton. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Central Bank Tiger Network. On the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, live from Harpo's, the Missouri Bar and Grill, this is Tiger Talk.
Ball fake, now here comes a three off the bounce. Bang, he splashed it home.
Now, here's your host, the voice of the Tigers, Mike Kelly.
Good evening and welcome to the show from Harpo's in downtown Columbia. I'm Mike Kelly. Coach Dennis Gates is alongside. Special treat for you is assistant coach Rob Summers is with us for the first half hour as well. Second segment of the show, we'll do our film study, and Coach Gates will talk about attacking switches. Bottom of the hour, Mark Dressler, a member of not only back-to-back state championships, as a member of the Spartans at DeSmet High School in St. Louis, playing for the legendary Rich Grauer, but also a member of 4 Big 8 title teams here at the University of Missouri. Mark is in the house. We'll visit with Mark Dressler coming up at 7:30. We will close the show with somebody that's had a little bit of success here at the University of Missouri. Her name is Larissa Anderson. Took her team to the Super Regional here in Columbia a year ago and ranked number 15 in the preseason poll as they get ready to get underway in early February. So we will visit with Larissa Anderson to close the show. Coach Gates is alongside. I'm Mike Kelly. That's Rob Summers. And we want to thank the host for Tiger Talk this season, Harpo's Bar and Grill, here in downtown Columbia, staple since 1971, featuring a new food menu. You can check out their daily specials and also their expanded space to host your next event. By the way, looking ahead, Texas A&M sold out. Rally for Ryan is that day. All funds support the MU Healthcare Children's Hospital Pediatric Cancer Research. Donations can be made at rallyforryan.org/donate, or you can send it to Venmo at Rally for Ryan. Oklahoma is the military appreciation game. There are less than 200 tickets available for the game against Kentucky, less than 750 tickets available for Alabama, and less than 1,000 tickets available for Oklahoma and South Carolina. So what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is there's a legitimate opportunity to sell out the rest of the remaining home games at Mizzou Arena. Dennis Gates, that's pretty cool.
That's a beautiful sound.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
I just want to thank our fans, our students, and everybody who makes sacrifices to change their schedule to be in Mizzou Arena, to visit with us and make it a home court advantage. So I appreciate everyone out there that's listening and obviously supporting us.
Take away from Saturday's game. A win as the Tigers, ranked number 22 at the time, took down number 16 Ole Miss. That sold out Mizzou Arena. Missouri now number 20, according to the Associated Press. Number 21, according to the coaches.
Well, that game was a great atmosphere. It's a typical SEC tournament matchup. I think the world of Chris Beard and what he's been able to do throughout his career, and obviously the success he's had instantly at Ole Miss. But our guys bounced back from the University of Texas game where we felt we left some meat on the bone, so to speak. And leave no doubt about it, our last game against Ole Miss, our guys were locked in. After that 8-0 run they had, our guys just executed the game plan top to bottom for the duration of 40 minutes.
Hit them with a 12-0 run to take the lead, and you never relinquished lead once you had it in the ballgame. Led for more than 34 minutes in the contest. Let's introduce you to Rob Summers, Missouri's assistant coach in his first season. Former star at West Virginia, to say the least. A couple other places, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't say star, but I played there.
Integral part. What was your takeaway from the game on Saturday?
Guys played hard. They played with their instincts. It was good to see, some carryover and not get beat twice by Texas. So the guys are really locked in, and it's a great group to coach. They're always locked in and ready to play. I want to talk a little bit at this segment about the strength of the Southeastern Conference. So as of this week, 10 teams from the SEC are currently ranked in the top 25. 3 of the top 5, 4 of the top 10, 7 of the top 15, 14 of the 16 teams in the league have been ranked at some point this season.
Well, we knew from the very beginning that this conference had a opportunity to do something special. And you have to understand this. Although we are opponents during the season and the postseason, we want our brethren and sister SEC schools to be successful. We just don't want them to be successful against us. And at the end of the day, those units does matter. The success in the NCAA tournament does matter. But historically, as we're going into the next phase of what college athletics look like, to have our conference to be the top conference historically, it has never been done before at this magnitude of competitiveness and the group of coaches. But look at the group of players and the talent. It's just a remarkable time, and you guys got a front row seat, and I would never look past that opportunity to see us play.
You played in the Big East. Did the Big East at any point compare to what you're seeing right now unfold in the SEC?
Yeah, we were actually talking with a couple of my former teammates, Joe Mazzulla, head coach for the Boston Celtics. We were like,
that's a little name drop, by the way. Did you hear that? Joe Mazzulla, my former teammate.
It's a real relationship.
Yeah, no, it is. The head coach of the Boston Celtics, who happened to win the NBA championship. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
So sorry. Me and Joe were talking about it. The Big East back then, you had 16 teams. And, once you had Louisville, you had UConn. So we were putting 12 teams, 11 teams in some tournament every year. So you were going against top talent every year. So, this SEC this year is by far, the history of NCAA is the hardest league to play in. And I think back then the Big East was a little bit lower.
Well, what does that do, though, for players to be able to see this type of competition day in, day out during the course of the regular season? How much better prepared do you feel like you are when you move into March?
Oh, you're extremely prepared. You're going against teams that are all national championship contenders. So every day you have to come out and give your best, your very best, and you're able to, on a national platform, put your product out there.
Back to Saturday's win, 15th consecutive win at home, 5th longest winning streak at home in the nation as Missouri picked up the victory. Tamar Bates and Caleb Grill were pretty good on Saturday, weren't they?
Not bad.
Not bad at all, 26 and 22.
They were not bad. It's a luxury. I think Chris Beard said it best. When you have two guys like that click at the same time, it makes it very difficult for any team to try to defend us. Ole Miss is a great defensive team. Chris Beard is a great defensive coach. For him to say that, I respect Chris Beard, but it says something about our team, but also it says about the growth that we have made that I always talk about, and now the next level of that growth. We can still grow. I still don't think we've played our best basketball.
It's Dennis Gates, Rob Summers is alongside Mike Kelly. Talk will continue from Harpo's in downtown Columbia, not only on Matrix Midwest, but also on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Dear winter, Toyota can't get enough of you. Because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And that's more than any other auto brand. From the versatile RAV4 to the svelte Crown, the sleek Camry all-wheel drive, the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive, the rugged Tacoma, the tenacious Tundra, and the spacious Grand Highlander with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. Hey, you bring the action, we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/24.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. the choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger Checking Card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank. Strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
It's time to play Timber Trivia. True or false? Real wood floors last 100 years or more. If you said true, good for you. Laminate flooring fumbles in the first quarter. True or false? Your home sells much faster with real wood floors than with fake wood or carpeting. True. True or false? Bamboo flooring makes sense. No way, sports fans. Bamboo is a grass. Turf belongs on the field. For flooring, say timber. Visit choosewood.com.
At MU Healthcare, believing anything is possible is how we treat every patient. It's how we find answers to medicine's most difficult questions, like uncovering new ways to help the body fight cancer, renewing hope for epilepsy patients, and stopping muscular dystrophy in its tracks. At MU Healthcare, we won't stop searching for answers, because when it comes to your health, we never settle. Neither should you.
Tiger Talk continues from Harpo's, a staple in downtown Columbia since 1971. Gentile is now the apparel provider for the Mizzou Radio Network. Check out their new collection of Mizzou apparel available at gentileapparel.com or at Bingham's in downtown Columbia the next time you're in town for a game. From the creators of Beatbox and Peachtree Catering, check out Belly Market and Rotisserie. Enjoy one of their massive sandwiches with house-smoked meats, also a delicious salad, other daily specials. Their dinner program offers seasonal plates, fresh seafood, also new bar offerings. Tell them the Tigers sent you and get a special treat. Rob Summers, Missouri's offensive coordinator, is with us. Head coach Dennis Gates as well. Time now for our film breakdown as we look at attacking switches tonight, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. So our game plan comes from an offensive sort of a nugget that helped us kind of figure out how we wanted to attack Ole Miss. We wanted to figure out what they did that made their shell defense so strong. Rob Summers is our offensive coordinator. He was my offensive coordinator when I was at Cleveland State for those 3 years, and obviously getting him back is very important. But when you're switching 1 through 5, it puts your big man in a position where he got to make decisions. So if you watch this clip, ultimately we wanted to initiate the switch with 25 or more seconds on the shot clock. So we did it early versus late. So that's number one. Number two, we wanted to make sure that their shell was inverted, meaning guards guarding bigs, bigs guarding guards. And we wanted the bigs to guard the guards on the outside and the guards to guard our bigs on the inside. And that's how we inverted offensively our shell to make sure we then go into our execution. So you see Caleb Grill, Peyton Marshall, initiate a screen, Grill curls, forces a switch, and you have their 5-man guard and Grill now on the perimeter. Now, pause. The acronym MIG is most important guy. MIG is an NBA term that we use in our program. We wanted to attack the MIG, so the MIG is the most important defender. In that, you'll see Dia, who is pretty much a great offensive player. We wanted to put him, he's in the center of the lane. Right now, he's guarding Caleb Grill. That's in a disadvantage because now Caleb Grill, who is great, moving without the ball, etc., and he spaces the court, we're asking Dia now to do things that guards have done their entire life. He's probably done it because he's the biggest guy, only a 20% time. Transfer portal. He doesn't come from a system that switched 1 through 5. So in essence, this is his first time actually switching 1 through 5, and he's 17 games in. So what we wanted to do is get that ball right back to that defender and now move the most important guy. That's why Trent Pierce did not hesitate on his swing. He definitely did not stall at Texas. At Texas, what I thought we didn't do a good job of is making that one more pass. That ball was shot as soon as it got caught right there, and we didn't put the MIG, the most important guy defensively, in a compromising situation. And Grill knocks down a corner three with a bad closeout that definitely ignited our crowd. The next clip you'll see is Grill again getting screened by Mark Mitchell. Now we wanted Mark Mitchell to get a catch. Now you have a 5'6" guy, 5'8" guy on Mark Mitchell, and now Mark Mitchell has the ball. At this point, we wanted to get a catch. Now again, the MIG is at the top of the screen to the right. You see Grill raise his hands. He knows he's open. He knows the execution. Instead of the swing, we have Mark Mitchell forcing a long closeout on this pass. Now, if you rewind, you watch Mark Mitchell. Mark Mitchell is not distracted by one height or deflection that number 5 can establish. So he gets a clear path on a strike. We want to throw strikes, not balls. It's something that we kind of implement in our offense. The percentage of shooting and makes, if you throw strikes, it increases. If you throw balls where you got to reach outside of your body or cylinder, your shooting percentage goes down. And Grill received nothing but strikes. 0.5-second decisions to shoot, and he executed that. The last clip I'll show until I'll let Rob Summers kind of go over it because he did a good job in the scouting report, as well as Matt Klein. We got another pinch post catch by Josh Gray. We wanted a triple action. Now you got 3 guys making a decision to switch. Somebody's lost. Somebody's lost, and what we did is put 2 post players in a position where it is normally 2 guards. If it was 2 guards to 1 post player ratio, they would solve that puzzle. But we wanted a 2 post player to 1 guard ratio to cause some type of confusion because they're less likely to execute that, and we did it correctly. Our guys executed, and Caleb Grill was able to knock down a shot from Josh Gray, and the most important guy is lost in the middle of the lane, and we were able to execute. So I'll pass it to Rob Summers so he can explain the next clip.
So in this clip right here, again, same thing, a pinch post catch. Now we call it a snake. Whenever we go to our split cuts and we play the other way, we call it a snake, a term that I stole from John Beeline. But as we snake it the other way here with Mark as our boss, you see him go into this split cut, let it play. Now you have Caleb Grill coming off a switch. Now they're trying to switch it again, handoff here. Now, again, we work with our guys on this. In between that switch, where those guys are going from on the handoff to guarding the ball, that's that split second these guys have for that shot. And a guy like Caleb Grill, who when he came back, first thing he told me was, well, welcome me back. Your offense will look a lot better now that I'm in there. You know, so to get him in that right to that split second, and he has such a quick release right here, you know when that ball goes in there, I think everybody in the country has confidence in Caleb and his ability to shoot the basketball right there. So again here, I set call out from out of timeout here. Again, working with our switches and working against getting their guards, guarding our bigs. We go down with a pin down here with Mark Mitchell. Let it go. Good. Now they have to go with the switch. Here you go. Now you got 5'6", 5'7" here guarding Mark Mitchell, and opposite you have their big 7'1" guarding Caleb Grill coming out the perimeter. Now again, 7'1" switches it, takes away that pass, and you allow a guy like Anthony Robinson, who's a phenomenal passer, to make that middle third pass right over the top here to Mark Mitchell, to where he's got 2 feet in the charge circle, and if you got him going against anybody, let alone a guard down there, you can always count that basket.
So that is our attacking the switches, and we did a phenomenal job recognizing our staff does it. The amount of hours that we spend watching film goes beyond measure. Sometimes our assistants get calls from me through the middle of the night, depending, and I have to apologize, send their wives a card of sorry for interrupting you guys or waking you up and et cetera. But our guys watch countless hours of film, and they know my rule is this. If I call you, you should have the answer, right? So I call them, and I know when they have the answer or not. Then they start clearing their throat, buying time, and then they'll find the answer real quick. So they work hard. Our guys are working hard. Our players are working harder.
That does it for Film Study. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more with Rob and with head coach Dennis Gates. We'll also look ahead to Saturday's game at Mississippi State on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Hey, Matzo Matt here for Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizza. You know, there are very few things in life worth waiting for.
Pizza's done.
Oh, I'm on it. I'm starving. I've been waiting.
I wouldn't do that. It's going to be really... It's so hot. It's burning my mouth.
A Brewpub Matzo Pizza it's the epitome of delayed gratification. So when your Brewpub Pizza is done and the temptation to dive right in due to the deliciousness of every bite overwhelms you, step back, give it time, and know it's worth the wait. Brewpub Matzo Pizza is available in your local grocery store.
Black and gold season never ends at the Tiger Team Store. Gear up for game day with the largest official selection of black and gold gear and gifts. From the latest Mizzou SEC gear to everything you need for your tailgate, the Tiger Team Store is your store for all things Mizzou. The Tiger Team Store has moved and is now located inside Mizzou Arena. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. with extended hours on game day or online at TigerTeamStore.com. It's always black and gold season at the Tiger Team Store.
Come on. That was me, a proper internet troll, finally having enough, all because of slow, spotty internet. We've all been there. So switch to Brightspeed Fiber Internet. Its ultra-fast fiber and wall-to-wall Wi-Fi coverage have me throwing out likes and hearts like confetti at a parade. I love parades. Who knew?
Brightspeed Fiber Internet. Switch to the bright side at brightspeed.com/today. Limited availability in select areas.
Addison's restaurants are great local spots to visit before or after all Mizzou home games. Addison's has 2 locations to choose from in Southwest and downtown Columbia. Addison's features a full bar with over 20 beers on tap, including local brewers, and of course their famous Nachos Bianco. So, before or after the game, stop by Addison's. View the full menu online for both locations at addisonsgrill.com.
It's game day, Tigers. Score big with fast check-ins, short security lines, and nonstop flights on American Airlines right here in Columbia. Whether you're traveling for the next big game or a quick getaway, Columbia Regional Airport gets you there easier and without the drive. Take the home court advantage to the skies at flycou.com. Columbia Regional Airport. There sooner, home faster.
It's time to get back into routine that focuses on you. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness. Escape reality in the indoor saltwater pool. Detox in the saunas or heat things up with our hot yoga. Wilson's is here to support you, motivate you, and help smash your goals with group fitness classes, personal coaching, and endless amenities. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness in Columbia. Visit them at wilsonsfitness.com.
Tiger Talk continues from Harpo's in downtown Columbia. I'm Mike Kelly. Rob Summers is with us. Dennis Gates as well. Next segment, the former Tiger Mark Dressler will join us, and then we'll close the show with Mizzou softball coach Larissa Anderson coming up in just a couple of segments here on the show. Partner with the Tigers and the Food Bank, the official charitable partner of Mizzou Athletics. Visit scoreagainsthunger.org. Learn how you can help. Score Against Hunger, presented by MPICS. Hey, and remember, you can watch Tiger Talk live locally through the family of networks through KMIZ, and in the St. Louis area through the family of networks on KMOV. Additionally, you can watch and listen on the Tiger Radio Network, the Mizzou Athletics Facebook page, and YouTube channels, as well as all episodes of Tiger Talk are on the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast. All right, so take us back. Dennis Gates, when did you first become familiar with one Rob Summers?
Y'all want to know a real story?
Absolutely.
Do y'all want to know a real story? Rob grew up down the street from me.
Oh, there you go. Chicago guy.
Dead serious. We didn't really know each other because our age difference is about 4 years.
Yeah.
About 3-4 years. But Rob is a son of pastors. And so we live probably, I want to say, about 15 houses away from each other. And during that time, you never really went outside. Well, I know he was too young to go outside, but we found out that he was living down the street until his parents moved. Where did you guys move from?
Columbus.
To Columbus, Ohio, from the same neighborhood in Chicago. We didn't find that out until I hired him at Cleveland State. And ultimately, what I would say is this, my brother, Armand Gakes, who's an assistant at Oklahoma, he's known Rob for some time just from the same age group. Jordan Mincy, one of our good friends, who's the head coach at Jacksonville, recommended me talk to Rob, and Rob was an Ohio guy, so it was important for me to get an Ohio guy. But I ended up hiring a Chicago guy. Damn the Ohio, I hired a Chicago guy, and here we are. But having him back by our side is very important. There's not many 7-foot coaches who specialize in post-development and has a high basketball IQ that can run your offense. And everything at Cleveland State, he ran offensively, and obviously bringing him back this year, he adds to our staff.
So what's it like working with him again?
It's great. I don't know if the people of Missouri understand how wonderful a coach they have. You know, I take it back to when we had that first conversation when he brought me to Cleveland State, and he had 2 players on his roster, and I wanted to get back to Ohio as had 2 little small children, and just talking with them on a Zoom call because I knew Armand for so long. And for 2 hours, I was so excited from talking to Coach Gates. I called my wife. I said, I'm ready to commit. And my wife said, you're 39 years old. You're not committing anywhere. You're taking a job offer. But it took me back to being a player. I was like, as a grown man with children, if I could see myself, pouring into him and his dream and what he was going to pour into my dream, I knew it was a no-brainer for me. So to be back with him and to help him continue, his climb to be a Hall of Fame coach is important for me.
You talk about your path, right? And you spent time at Miami, you spent time at Cleveland State. But going back, you played at Penn State. You also played at West Virginia. And you mentioned his name. And I don't know that people have the proper amount of respect for how great of a coach he was. But John Beilein is a Hall of Fame coach and a guy that you had the chance to work with. What type of imprint did he leave on the life of Rob Summers?
A huge imprint. He's obviously a phenomenal coach, and offensively, a lot of things that we do here, and a lot of things that the NBA the NBA does now is a lot of his actions. I don't think people understand how intricate he was and how detail-oriented he was with his offense. So, I definitely, leaned on him a lot in my early years. Until this day, I still talk to Coach Beilein and, pick his brain. I know he's down in Florida, living it up and collecting all those checks. But, he definitely
still doing a little TV, too.
Yeah.
You work with the bigs. Just give us, if you will, a thumbnail sketch on the development of Peyton Marshall, the development of a guy like Josh Gray, who has said, by the way, I wish I would have started as a freshman and been at the University of Missouri and been around these guys as a freshman. And so that's a testimony to the impact that they've had on his life. But talk about the bigs and the development you've seen them make.
They've gotten so much better. From getting here in June, my first impression of all of them, first of all, was they're humongous. I'm a big guy, so when I see, Josh Gray and Peyton Marshall and a guy like Trent Burns and I'll walk next to them in practice, I'm like, man, I never feel like, I'm looking eye to eye to a lot of people. So to see that was great, but to see their skill, and their IQ and their physicality, you look at a guy like a Peyton Marshall who's going to be phenomenal here for us. He's just so physically strong. And I'm not a weak guy by any stretch of imagination. I run my miles, I lift my weights every day. So to get out there and bang with him, you can tell he knows how to use it. And, he's going to continue to get better. The same thing for Josh Gray. His knack for rebounding the basketball, a lot of people compare him to Dennis Rodman, and, he embraces that part about him. But he has that physicality and that eye for the ball to just go get it.
Fans haven't seen Trent Burns yet.
Oh, no, wait till you see him. You're going to be thoroughly impressed. I tell people all the time, man, he's like one of the best kept secrets in all of college basketball right now. Just, he's dealing with some things right now, but when he gets in the gym, he's a gym rat. He works hard. He's extremely intelligent, a very likable kid. And again, he's 7'5", and he can pass, dribble, shoot, catch, dunk, block shots. So he's a unicorn. He's a unicorn with those things, and his development is going to continue to get there. But I think people can be impressed.
In what ways can Peyton Marshall and Josh Gray impact this team and its ability to win right now during this stage of the season?
With their physicality and just being the anchors of everything. I tell those guys all the time, you're going to get blamed for everything on the court as a 7-footer. Everyone looks at you and they say, oh, man, you should have got that rebound. You should have blocked that shot. You shouldn't have. Everybody else can do that stuff. Anybody can turn the ball over on our team. We won't say anything. If Josh does it or Peyton does it, like, what are you doing? So just for them to, understand that, with great power comes responsibility. They've been blessed by God to have that size and just to be that physical, that empowering force down there. So you'll hear me all game long yelling strong and just like screaming at those guys because I know how good they are and how much better they make us when they're out there on their A game.
You head to Starkville coming up this weekend to take on Mississippi State. They've got a big game at home tomorrow night against Alabama, but Mississippi State ranked 14th in the country this week. A thought on playing the Bulldogs and Coach Chris Jans?
Yeah, Chris Jans. I've been knowing Chris Jans for my entire coaching career. While at Florida State as a graduate assistant, he was a junior college coach right around the corner at Chipola Junior College, and obviously he spent time in the state of Illinois where I'm from. But his teams are going to have a hard-nosed mentality. Defensively, they've done a great job. This is the first year he's playing without a traditional big-bodied center. He had first-team all-conference Tulu Smith, first-team all-conference player. He had a young man named Jimmy Bell. Those were big post players. This is the first time he's more guard-oriented. And they have a tremendous, tremendous roster, and I just think he does a good job. So it'll be sort of like the Texas and Ole Miss game where it's a program that's focused defensively, focused on, winning ugly if they have to. And that's something we have to embrace ourselves. So it'll be a great game, top 25, top 20 matchup again. And ultimately, our conference has unbelievable matchups like that consistently.
How do you use this week? You played on Saturday. You don't play again until Saturday. So how do you use this time during the course of the week to get ready?
So we had bye week, obviously, and we had Sunday off. And then Monday, Tuesday, we had sort of like a abbreviated practice, no contact, sort of like no pads when it comes down to football. So it was no contact. But we did about an hour, 20 minutes worth of things, film included in that. And we wanted our guys to get reinvigorated, reintroduce them to some things that we have to implement, and obviously continue to get better in what we want to do. So we use this time to sharpen our blade. I, as the head coach, removed my voice completely and removed my presence because you don't want your team in this season to tone you out, right? And it gave my assistants, which they do a great job of doing, their voice, their development, and different things like that. So they ran practice. I looked from afar, and obviously we'll have tomorrow off, and then we'll go Thursday, Friday, and then we'll travel Friday for our Saturday game.
Thanks for tonight. Great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Pleasure's mine. What do you think about this guy? Okay, so far?
Future head coach. We have a couple of those future head coaches on our staff. But, again, I want to thank our crowd that's here, man. It's beautiful to see. MIZ.
Dennis Gates, Rob Summers. When we come back, Mark Dressler on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger checking card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank, strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Oh, did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Dear winter, Toyota can't get enough of you. Because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And that's more than any other auto brand. From the versatile RAV4 to the svelte Crown, the sleek Camry all-wheel drive, the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive, the rugged Tacoma, the tenacious Tundra, and the spacious Grand Highlander with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. Hey, you bring the action, we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/24.
A message about driving safely from University of Missouri head basketball coach Dennis Gates.
Basketball requires everyone to be responsible teammates. Driving requires the same exact thing. Crashes can be avoided by practicing safe driving habits. Please leave all distractions aside. Once you're behind that wheel, that is your number one priority. Buckle up, phone down. Slow down, drive sober.
This message is brought to you by the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety.
Talk continues from Harpo's in downtown Columbia, staple since 1971. I'm Mike Kelly. Hope you enjoyed our conversation with Dennis Gates and also with Rob Summers. Mizzou Athletics would like to thank its premier partners, MU Healthcare and Shelter Insurance. It's time now for our former players segment. It's brought to you by Socket Fiber. We bring into the conversation a guy who played 123 games at Missouri during his career from 1978 through 1983. Please welcome a member of 4 Big 8 championships, Mr. Mark Dressler. How are you, buddy?
Appreciate it. Doing very well. Thank you.
Had the former player reunion this weekend. Got to see some of your old foes, right? Your old buddies?
Yes, there was quite a few came back. They have that every year, and it's an exciting time to get back and start reliving the stories that we had during our playing years.
You played for 2 legendary coaches, and I don't know that people remember the impact that Rich Grauer had on the game of basketball in the state of Missouri as the head coach at DeSmet High School in St. Louis. Of course, you played, won a championship your senior year, and then you had a teammate named Steve Stepanovich that made it back-to-back the next year. But what was it like playing for Coach Grauer, who, oh, by the way, would eventually come to the University of Missouri as an assistant with Coach Stewart?
Rich was a pretty demanding. He was similar to Norm. He had expectations of how to play the game, and I mean, we my senior year we really were stacked. I mean, for a high school team, we went 7 foot, 6'7", 6'6", 6'2", 6'2" at guards, and for a high school team, I mean, that's amazing.
It's a lot of size, yeah.
And Steve was a junior, and coming into his self and playing really well as a junior.
Was there ever any doubt in your mind in terms of where you were going to go? And if so, ultimately, what sold Mark Dressler about becoming a Tiger?
I wanted to stay close. I kind of narrowed it down to St. Louis University and Mizzou, and then Norm basically sold me on coming to the university. I felt like I needed that type of coach to get the best out of me, and Norm did do that.
What was it like being a part of those teams? And you had some great players. I mean, guys like Larry Drew, guys like John Sunvold, yourself, Steve Stepanovich, just Ron Jones, just to mention a few. Ricky Frazier, great story we're going to talk about involving a game you played in against Notre Dame. But, again, all that talent that Coach Stewart assembled, and, again, a part of 4 Big 8 championships.
It was really neat. I mean, it was a unique group of people with all the same goal. It's hard to explain to people how it was, but we went out there every night and we kind of felt like we're going to win. I mean, it was. I think once you start winning and you figure out how you win, then it kind of. I think kind of like the Chiefs are going right now. You just know how to win. You know what you need to do at that special moment of the ball game, and we had those type of players. And it just seemed like everything. We had a Hall of Fame coach, and I played with 3 All-Americans at one point, and Larry Drew, and I mean, it was an amazing group of people.
On to the story about Ricky Frazier, and I want to start with you because you play in the NCAA tournament against Digger Phelps in Notre Dame, and they've got a guy named Kelly Tripucka that's pretty good. They've got a guy named Bill Laimbeer, several other players that would go on to play in the NBA. Mark Dressler lit up Notre Dame for 32 that afternoon. What do you remember about that game?
I was in the NCAA tournament, second round, and they were a team that they had 5 players that went on and played in the NBA. And it was just, once again, it was just like we just go out there and play. And it was just an experience. The longer we stayed with them in the game, the better we started feeling. There was, at that time, there was no three-point line.
Right.
There was no 30-second clock, so it was there was a little bit of stalling on both teams, and just it was a kind of a puzzle that you competed against the other coach. Coaches were, doing different things to see how they could get ahead. And, Kelly Tripucka, Tracy Jackson, Orlando Wooldridge,
right.
John Paxson,
Laimbeer.
Hanslick.
Yeah, Bill
Laimbeer.
Hanslick. Yeah.
They were just stacked, and we kind of went in there and didn't have anything to lose. At that time, we had 9 players on the team. We had players hurt, and I think a couple of them left, and so we were down to 9 players. One of them was a baseball player, Al Hightower. And then, it was just. It was the neatest experience I've ever had, and something that, I can picture it just like it was yesterday.
Coach Stewart's going through the scouting report before the game, and he goes to Ricky Frazier. You have Kelly Tripucka, and you take the story from there.
Well, Rick was a unique guy. He didn't much bother him, and he looks around the room and he says, "Kelly, who's that?"
Yeah.
Who's that?
Who he?
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah, and then go ahead. I'm sorry.
He was their number 1 player, probably averaging in the 20s, and just a really good shooter. And there's lots of stories with Rick that you could tell. Set up a play one time, and Rick, you're going to throw it in, and we're going to set up plays. These players are in different positions, and we get out there, and Rick's nowhere to be found by the ball throwing it in, and we're like, Rick, where's it at? The referee puts the ball down, and I immediately run over there because there's going to count. I throw it away, and I come out of the ball game. So,
yeah.
Rick, where are you at? But.
No, I can imagine that. You're one of the unique guys, though, that once you got here, have you left Columbia, Missouri since you graduated? You have not, have you?
I have not left.
No, you have been here since you arrived. You raised your family here, had a chance to watch your son Jordan play, not only in high school at Rockbridge, but at Columbia College. So what was it about Columbia, Missouri that kept Mark Dressler and his family here?
Well, I married a local girl, start with, but I'm a type of guy, and I grew up in St. Louis, and even at that, I really enjoyed fishing and stuff like that with my dad. And we used to go down like to Merrimack Springs and trout fish and stuff. But this community, I just had all those things, hunting and fishing, and just the familiarity of living in Columbia for the 4 years I was in college, and then, of course, met my wife here, and we just decided to raise our family here.
How long have you been with Columbia Insurance?
I'm retired now.
Congratulations.
I retired in 2021, and early, which was a neat thing. But I was there for 30 years, and I just felt like that was enough at the time.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for coming out tonight. Sincerely appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me.
It's Mark Dressler, ladies and gentlemen. Larissa Anderson will join us next on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products, we've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
It's game day, Tigers. Score big with fast check-ins, short security lines, and nonstop flights on American Airlines right here in Columbia. Whether you're traveling for the next big game or a quick getaway, Columbia Regional Airport gets you there easier and without the drive. Take the home court advantage to the skies at flycou.com. Columbia Regional Airport. There sooner, home faster.
Come on. That was me, a proper internet troll, finally having enough, all because of slow, spotty internet. We've all been there. So switch to Brightspeed Fiber Internet. Its ultra-fast fiber and wall-to-wall Wi-Fi coverage have me throwing out likes and hearts like confetti at a parade. I love parades. Who knew?
Brightspeed Fiber Internet. Switch to the bright side at brightspeed.com/today. Limited availability in select areas.
Addison's restaurants are great local spots to visit before or after all Mizzou home games. Addison's has 2 locations to choose from in Southwest and downtown Columbia. Addison's features a full bar with over 20 beers on tap, including local brewers, and of course their famous Nachos Bianco. So, before or after the game, stop by Addison's. View the full menu online for both locations at addisonsgrill.com.
Dear winter, Toyota can't get enough of you. Because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And that's more than any other auto brand. From the versatile RAV4 to the svelte Crown, the sleek Camry all-wheel drive, the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive, the rugged Tacoma, the tenacious Tundra, and the spacious Grand Highlander with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. Hey, you bring the action, we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/24.
Black and gold season never ends at the Tiger Team Store. Gear up for game day with the largest official selection of black and gold gear and gifts. From the latest Mizzou SEC gear to everything you need for your tailgate, the Tiger Team Store is your store for all things Mizzou. The Tiger Team Store has moved and is now located inside Mizzou Arena. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. with extended hours on game day or online at tigerteamstore.com. It's always black and gold season at the Tiger Team Store.
Inside of Harpo's in downtown Columbia, staple since 1971. This is Tiger Talk each week from here at Harpo's. Brought to you by Shelter Insurance, ranked number 1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power. 6 of the last 7 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter. This next guest is going into her 7th season at the University of Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for a head coach that's had a tremendous amount of success in a short amount of time, Larissa Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see you.
Glad to be here.
I was thinking about this because I found out that you were going to be on sometime mid-afternoon. Have we ever done this before? I don't think we have.
No, you've never invited me to sit up here.
I've never invited. Yeah, let me help you with this. I'm not really in charge of this. I opened up the Missourian this morning, clicked online, and the headline: Anderson exudes confidence for the upcoming season. Accurate?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it has to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't go into a season not being confident, but I mean, their team is built on such a strong foundation. Tradition never graduates. We have strength in the circle. We have experience. We know what we need to do. We have the schedule to be able to do it. I mean, the schedule's going to kick our butt. And I just looked at the rankings, and we have 11 SEC teams in the top 25. We have 10 non-conference ranked opponents this year on our schedule. So we're putting ourselves in a situation to host. Like, that's our number one thing. Like, get an RPI to be able to host.
So why do you think the SEC has been as successful as it's has been, not only just in softball, and oh, by the way, you bring in a team like Oklahoma that's won a few national championships, but why do you think across the board the SEC has been so strong in multiple sports?
It's the commitment from the conference and the universities, the commitment to their stadiums to be able to bring in high-level talent. I mean, all across the country, because of the viewership on TV, players want to play in our conference. So you're going to get the best talent.
How do you go about coming into and obviously you arrive at Missouri. It's a program that's had success before, going back to Jay Miller, obviously several years back. How do you come in and establish your program and build your culture in this environment?
I love this topic because, yes, they were successful in the past, and it's my responsibility to find out why.
Yeah.
So it's talking to the alumni and talk to me about what it was like in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s when you were going to the World Series and what was the foundation, what did Mizzou stand for. And when I learned from those past players, it's, okay, we know how to win, we know what it takes to win, now let's put our little twist on it and make sure we can do it the right way with the right people.
So among those alumni, and I love this alumnus, I should say, pardon me, but I like this topic too. What was the common denominator? What was there one? Was there a common theme?
Midwest kids.
Really?
Like, it was Midwest kids, and it was making sure the best stay home, that we are the premier program in the Midwest, that those kids want to stay home, that they're not leaving the state. And that was the number one thing when I took over this program. When I look at rosters of other SEC opponents and players were leaving the state and going to Kentucky and Arkansas, and some were traveling to the West Coast and going to Oregon, like, I took that personal. Like, where they're not playing at the premier school in their state. So it was making sure that we're keeping those kids home and then branching out to the area states to be able to attract that local talent. So now we have a lot more ownership and pride in where we're from.
I have always thought that if you're an in-state athlete in any sport and you choose to stay at home and come to the University of Missouri, and again, in any sport, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that there's a natural celebrity that will follow you in the state of Missouri for the rest of your life because you were a Missouri Tiger.
Forever, without a doubt. I mean, you just look at Abby Hay. Abby Hay was a freshman for us last year, Columbia kid. And, I mean, the notoriety that she's able to receive nationally because she's staying home and playing for her home school far exceeds anything that any other player would be able to obtain.
You've also, and again, success has something to do with it, but you've also been able to, through your efforts and through other things that you do, whether it be the dinner on the diamond and things like that, you've developed a very loyal fan base, a fan base that is there rain or shine. Obviously, that's part of the equation when you start to build something. So how did you try to attack that part of it?
It comes from, I want our fan base, I want our donor base, I want our support to have an inside look into our program so that when they see our players on the field, they feel like they know them off the field, their families. There's a lot of consistency in what we recruit, and that's why players don't transfer. Like, they're not leaving our programs because they want to be a part of what we're building, and they feel like it is their home because everyone's invested in their success on and off the field.
It's Larissa Anderson and I'm Mike Kelly. We're going to take a break. More with the head coach coming up next on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger Checking Card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank. Strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Addison's restaurants are great local spots to visit before or after all Mizzou home games. Addison's has 2 locations to choose from in Southwest and downtown Columbia. Addison's features a full bar with over 20 beers on tap, including local brewers, and of course their famous Nachos Bianco. So, before or after the game, stop by Addison's. View the full menu online for both locations at addisonsgrill.com.
Hey friends, Matza Matt here for Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza. You know, so many people are stuck in the moat of mundaneness when it comes to their frozen pizza choice. Same cardboard crust, flavorless sauce, second-rate cheese. You know, all the assumptions of a frozen pizza. Well, it's time to ditch the downer and throw out that theory by diving into a Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza. Thin, cracker-like crust, a bold, tasty sauce, high-quality meat and veggie toppings, and bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning mozzarella cheese. There's nothing humdrum about a Brewpub pizza. See for yourself. Snag one today from the frozen pizza section at your local grocery store.
Final segment of Tiger Talk. This episode of Tiger Talk, other great content and episodes available of the Inside Mizzou Sports Podcast presented by Shelter Insurance. You can subscribe today wherever you listen to your podcast, and also hear from Matt Michaels and Brad Trinago weekly. Remember, you can watch the show on the Mizzou Athletics Facebook page and also on Matrix Midwest. Larissa Anderson is with us. Her team will open the season coming up early February, right?
Yeah, Groundhog's Day's first, so we got to make sure the groundhog does not see his shadow.
Yes.
Yes, and then we open up on next Friday.
Wow. On the road in Florida.
Yeah, we're in Florida for 10 days straight. We play 11 games in 10 days. We have Marshall and Northwestern on opening weekend, and then a rematch with Duke on Saturday.
You were talking about the schedule a little bit earlier, and, obviously 10 teams in the SEC currently ranked. You're ranked number 15. Plus 10 more teams non-conference that are ranked as well.
Mm-hmm.
What was the madness in putting together this type of schedule?
You know, some of it is just the way the tournaments fall. Like, not all the opponents are picked out. You try to get to some feature-head tournaments, and then the teams that are there, and a lot of people want to play you because you're ranked. So, you're not going to say no to a ranked opponent. But it's also to prepare for SEC play. Like, we know every single weekend in the SEC is going to be a super regional matchup. So you have to play tough competition to be able to expose yourself early to what your weaknesses are, so you know what you need to improve on going into conference play.
How much better is the SEC with the addition of Texas and Oklahoma?
Can you get better than number one? I mean, we were already number one to begin with, but when you add the defending national champion and number 2 runner-up, and they're 1 and 2 right now in the rankings. I mean, it makes it tough, but it also is going to make it really tough for them.
You brought in a number of freshmen this year. Tell us about your freshman class, what you like about what you've seen from them early on.
Yeah, we have 7 freshmen and 3 transfers, so 10 new players. What I'm really excited about is the versatility that they have. We have a local talent in Madison Updegrove from Tolton High School, Columbia, born and raised. She's looking to fill the shoes of Jenna Laird, our Golden Glove Award winner at shortstop. So it's great to get that talent out of home. I just see the fire that they have. And, someone like Madison Updegrove and Abby Wilhelm, who's also a Missouri kid, and Caden Shepard, when they've been sitting in the stands for so many years and now they're actually playing on the field, like, this is a dream come true for them.
All good general managers will say the way you build a team is up the middle, right? Talk about your strengths up the middle.
Julia Crenshaw will be back behind the plate. She is a converted catcher and is probably one of the toughest catchers in our conference. In the mid-circle, we have Marissa McCann returning and Sierra Harrison, 2 really strong pitchers. And then Taylor Pinnell, who led the country in saves last year. So really strong in the middle. And then middle infield is open. I mean, we're moving Cara Daly from third over to short. She's going to play there a little bit, so we're not putting so much pressure on Updegrove to be able to replace Jenna Laird. Second base is wide open with a lot of first-year players. Sophie Smith's another one out of Texas. Abby Wilhelm is from Missouri. We have a transfer from Kentucky, Taylor Ebbs, that's competing there. And then center field, we're looking at Kaylee Lenger right now.
Can I talk about your husband just for a minute?
Why not?
Yeah, Patrick Anderson, as you might know, was the manager of the Cardinals organization, the Peoria team, now in Springfield, which is quite nice to have him in the state of Missouri. Makes it quite nice that he can make it back and forth easier than Peoria. But go ahead.
It's a promotion. He's going from high A ball to double A.
Yeah.
He's real excited because he will be at big league spring training, so he'll be on the big league field. He gets all big league rehab assignments, so he's hanging out with a lot of big leaguers, but closer to home. So he's able to jet back and forth. He'll be able to see his dog and his wife a little bit more than he does when he's in Peoria, Illinois. But, I mean, it's great for the Cardinals to recognize his talent and his ability to be able to develop talent and bumping him up to double A.
How'd you guys meet?
You want to know that story?
That's why I asked the question.
So it's a great story. So the college I went to, Gannon University, is in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I was there my senior year, and he was playing minor league ball, and he knew the head coach. he's traveling through Erie, PA, and helping out with the baseball program. And I'm playing catch in the gym, and he came up to me and he said, "I just saw you play catch. You want to have a kid together?" That was his pickup line.
That was his pickup line. How many years ago was that?
That was 27 years ago.
Congratulations.
Thank
We're
you.
just about out of time. Have a great season. It's so great to see you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
That's Larissa Anderson, and I'm Mike Kelly. Thanks for being with us for Tiger Talk, not only on Matrix Midwest, but on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.